All right. It has been a week. Really exciting stuff. Welcome to the show. This live video is talking about how to clear your plate to scale your business this week. And the inspiration for today's live, is the fact that been doing a lot of networking, been meeting a lot of really cool people. For those of you who know what I went through last year, I'm coming out of the cave. I'm showing up in the world again to share our technology and our ability to help people. But um, the inspiration was for this, that there are clients and even people I had just met, and I just love it because, while I'm meeting these people, we're talking about our framework. We're talking about how we help people scale up and out of their business. And they literally reached back out and text me saying, "Hey, just meeting you, that short conversation, I ran with what you talked about, and thank you for sharing about our business." And we immediately saw results. So I wanted to say, hey, that's really cool. If they can get results after just talking to me for 30 minutes, or actually even less than that, why not share this with everybody else? Because obviously it works. So, hey, it's Wei. And in case this is your first time here, welcome to the live. Um, but in case you don't know who I am the CEO and co founder of Limitless Leader. And over the last 20 years, my business partner Lisa and I have been helping thousands of entrepreneurs and leaders, entrepreneurial leaders all over the world, to use our patented technology to help scale their businesses, scale their lifestyles, and get them up and out of their business so that they can own the business without having to be in the day-to-day of their business. So what entrepreneur wouldn't want that? And that's an interesting thing, because I've been having these really cool conversations with a lot of these entrepreneurs that I've met this week, where it kind of was this wake up call, is like, how many of us, and if you're an entrepreneur listening to this, especially if you're an entrepreneur with teams of like 5 or more, and I want you to think about this for a moment, is how many, and comment below if this is like, how many of you chose to be an entrepreneur to create a job for yourself for the rest of your life? You know, I have yet to meet one entrepreneur that says, "Yes, I became an entrepreneur so I can create a job for myself so I can do it for the rest of my life till the day I die." Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. But I think most entrepreneurs wanted to solve a problem in the world and create something that could continue to solve the problem with or without them. And those are the people that truly benefit from what it is that we're talking about. So, just to give you a little bit of context, this week it's so interesting, and comment below if this makes sense to you, that in the work that we do, I always find that from one day to the next, there tends to be this theme that shows up consistently with clients, people that we meet, talking about the same thing. And this week, there has been a big kind of theme running around a part of our framework called the Easy Three. Okay. And if this is the first time you're hearing about the Easy Three, we make scaling and growing businesses easy by taking your business and breaking it down to 3 main pillars, which is acquisitions, fulfillment, and operations. I'll show you where it is in the framework in just a moment with my fun little whiteboard, which I always love to do, and to kind of share what I been sharing in 10-15 minutes in these networking events that I've been involved with, and people I'm talking to, and how I'm getting text messages the next day from these go-getters, those who actually take it to heart and they go do it, and they said, "I already am experiencing results," which is what, in order for us as entrepreneurs to be able to really, especially as leaders of an organization, or if you own the business, to really focus on growing the business, we often have to get intentional and find a way to clear things off our plate so we have the bandwidth to focus on growth, right? A lot of us, especially if we start up solopreneurs and we grow our business to 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 people on our team, oftentimes there's like vestiges, there's like leftover kind of like habits of just not shifting the gear out of, oh, should I really be in the trenches right now, right? So let me jump in and share with you what I've been talking to people about, and how this person I just met earlier this week reached out the next day and told me, like, dude, that totally works. It already worked. So So let me just jump into the framework right here. Okay, so this is our framework. For those of you who've seen this before, this looks very familiar. And the one that we're going to be referring to is this one right here. So let me go ahead and wait, what's that? It's drawing. Okay, cool. Let's do this and pull this out. Okay, so we're going to talk about the EZ3. Okay, so if this is your first time kind of like understanding what the EZ3 is all about and in our framework, it's essentially breaking down your entire business into three main pillars so you can have a big picture overview of how everything works in your business. You have your acquisitions pillar, you have your fulfillment pillar, you have your operations pillar. So every activity in your business pretty much falls into one of these three categories. Now, there are subcategories within each one, and that's totally fine. But for the sake of what the conversation, because keep in mind, I'm meeting these people, I'm talking to them for maybe 10, 15 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer. And then when I hear about what's going on in their business and they say, we want to scale up and out of our business, I'm like, great. Well, what's the favorite part of your business that you like to do? So the guy, okay, let's use the guy that actually got results the next day, just kind of like taking what he learned from just talking to me at the event. So this guy runs a brick and mortar. And I asked him, well, okay, so you have a natural talent in the business. Now, obviously, you probably know how to do all the business. He goes, yeah, I built it. I was a solopreneur, and now I have a team of 15 people. I'm like, great. And they're evenly spread out through all these pillars. He goes, pretty much. Okay, so let me ask you, out of, acquisitions is sales and marketing, what brings money into the business. Fulfillment is taking care of the customers, okay? And then operations is what keeps the lights on, right? Then you got your HR, your legal, your IT, all that stuff. And I said, well, what area do you enjoy the most about the business, about the three pillars of your business? And he goes, well, definitely not operations. Okay, so I said, all right, so we'll nix this one. He goes, what do you mean nix it? It's like, I'll explain later. How about fulfillment or acquisition? Where do you kind of like get more energized from, like, bringing people on board or taking care of them after they've already committed to using your product and services? And he goes, it actually juices me up just to get them excited and convincing them or helping them understand how we can help them. I said, so the acquisition side? He goes, yeah, I think so. So, okay, cool. We'll put an X on the fulfillment. He goes, all right, so you have to explain to me, why do you keep putting X's on these other parts of the business? Well, I said, every entrepreneur leader will eventually find their kind of groove in where they like to be in the business, where they like to spend most of their time. It's very few human beings or entrepreneurs or leaders will find themselves, I like all pillars. Okay, and if you are an entrepreneur, you know what I'm talking about. And it's interesting this week, and I just came back from having a meeting with another entrepreneur, and she is kind of not the same as this guy. Okay, so this guy, he likes, and I'll get to that in a moment. So this guy, he says, I love the acquisition product. I love introducing this, what we do to help people, help our customers and clients solve their problems. That's one of my favorite things to do, to get them excited, to take them from like not knowing who the heck we are, and then realizing that, we can totally help them with what their problems are. And I was like, okay, great. Again, because I didn't get permission from him to actually talk about what he specifically does, I have to talk in kind of generality. So forgive me for that, please. So I said, okay, great. So here's what I challenge you to do this week. And this is what we do for all of our clients, okay? To immediately take things off your plate, because you have a team already in all pillars, right? He goes, yes. Okay, so I challenge you this week or this month or this year to shift your focus to just spending your time and your day on just acquisitions, and take anything that you happen to be doing for fulfillment and operations off your plate. So he then said, really? I said, yeah, try it. What have you got to lose? You already have people. It's not like you're solopreneuring anymore. He goes, you're right. And as you sitting there thinking about it, I said, I think I am doing kind of like double work. So anyway, that's kind of where I left. And I was like, oh, cool. Thanks for that. And then he got distracted and he went off and stuff like that. We exchanged information and that was it. I didn't think much off after that, okay? But then I had clients, throughout the week where we were talking about the same concept, and they were like saying, yeah, we've been doing this way and it's been really, really good, but it's been spread out. Well, the next day, literally the next day, at the end of the day, I get this text message from the guy. It's like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but you talked to me yesterday. I'm like, yeah, I remember you. He goes, well, I went home and you gave me a lot to think about. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I always like that, giving him something to think about. And he basically said this. He said, I thought about what you said and I started mapping out everything. And I said, I really have people in all areas of the pillar that I'm actually doing some of the double work because I have this like desire it's almost like a controlling thing. Like I have to make sure it's all right. And so I said, well, what if I did what this guy Wei said? And so he did it. And he said, in literally one day, he opened up hours from his calendar to be able to suddenly have the time that he's been wanting to focus on next steps for his business, the bigger thinking that he wanted to do for 2024. He said, wait, just those 2 extra hours that I was able to free up the next day, I was able to kind of finally finish my game plan for 2024. He says, what you shared with me, just that one piece, and I don't know what the other parts of your framework are, but if that one piece was able to do that, I can't even imagine what the other parts of the framework will do. I was like, well, that's really cool. So at the very least, I just made a new long time or lifetime friend because we're going to be friends for a long time. I'm like, that's cool. Where it transpires from there doesn't really matter. What excites me more is that it's almost kind of validating, right? That you share something that you already do for your clients and someone takes it and runs with it and the next day they immediately get results. How cool is that, right? And so I thought, well, if that person, how many more people can probably take advantage of that little learning? Like just taking a look at what area of your business. Do you prefer acquisitions? Do you prefer fulfillment? Do you prefer operations, right? And so, which getting back to the last meeting I just had with this amazing person who is also an entrepreneur, and she actually prefers the fulfillment part. If she could get the acquisitions and operations off her plate, she said that would be amazing. And so everybody, and I use this word in that conversation, everybody, entrepreneurs, I don't care. I know it's not a verb, but it is for this video. Everybody entrepreneur is different, right? And believe it or not, there are people who love the operations part of the business and they're just okay with the acquisitions of business and the fulfillment of business. Wherever it is, it's completely up to you. And the important thing to understand is that your first step, one of the first biggest steps that we help all our clients to embrace, is that in order for you to create a long-term sustainable business model that can scale limitlessly and grow limitlessly, contrary to popular belief, you have to create and structure it around your unique way of running the business, your unique way of delivering products, your unique vision. Only then can you find the pieces and components and structure it in a way that can allow you to scale up and out of the business and replace it appropriately with the appropriate cogs to run that component of the machine of your business once you're gone. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to come and share that real quick and have maybe share a little bit of what has been validated to work almost immediately. And if you're looking to start to clear stuff off your plate, now here's some caveats. This works really well and works really quickly, and it can work as quickly as this week or this coming week because it is Friday and so it's the weekend. Maybe you work on the weekends, who knows? It works really well for people who have existing teams already. So even if you don't have teams, but you have intentions of doing that, it's still an important exercise. You may not necessarily get results like that guy did like the next day, but if you already have existing teams running and doing activities of your business in all 3 pillars of the easy 3, acquisitions, fulfillment, and operations, then this little hack, if you will, and it's not really a hack, it's just saying, oh, you know what? I'm actually better in acquisitions than any other pillar. Let the rest of the people who are already in those other pillars that you're not as excited about do those components, and then that way you could put all your energy there. You're going to find that you're going to get a whole bunch of things off your plate, which opens up the bandwidth for you to be able to focus on what's really important to as a business owner or as an entrepreneurial leader to grow the business. Now, Do we have worksheets around this? Do we have deeper trainings around this? Absolutely. I mean, this is what we do for our clients. So if you want access to any of those resources, just comment below or DM me, and I'll be more than happy to give it to you. As usual, there's no opt-in. I'll just send you a link. You can download it, do what you will with it, and then we can be lifelong friends again. Just like, oh, not again, but lifelong friends like that guy I just met. But anyway, wanted to come on and share this with you because I was super excited about just hearing about those types of results from just a short 15-minute conversation. Imagine if we had more time to go even deeper to share more aspects. Now, of course, if you are following our social media, you probably see that I share all kinds of parts of our framework. And so any questions around the execution of those things, or just stay connected, stay following this. I'm just gonna keep sharing these cool things that we experience in real time so that you don't have to not benefit, or not, so you can benefit from what other people are from interacting with me in real life, IRL, right? Okay, well, other than that, just wanted to come on real quick to share that. Hope you had a great week. It's a Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Have some fun, and always be scaling. Other than that, I will talk to you all later.